Hello, Dr. Brandon Vaughn, that tie-dye guy, coming to you with the last in the series about writing smarter goals. We've gone through each specific part of what a smarter goal is. That is, it needs to be specific, it needs to be measurable, it needs to be action oriented, it needs to be risky, it needs to be time based, it needs to be exciting, and it needs to be relevant. So I wanted to leave you with two tips today to how to put this into practice. First of all, do not make the mistake of getting obsessed over each letter, because I've said this numerous times over the last lessons that sometimes you do one thing and it helps you accomplish another one of those letters. So if you make it time based, for instance, you might end up making it more specific at the same time. If you make it exciting, you might make it risky at the same time. So don't get obsessed that you have to dissect every single part of this, but just aim to make sure that you've checked off most of those boxes, even if you think that some of them overlap in many ways. What I want to secondly give you is some fill in the blank ideas that if you just filled in the blank for these, you're most likely setting up a smarter goal. So these are inspired by Michael Hyatt. I owe him the gratitude and the respect for coming up with these. So here's number one way of doing this is these are the three blanks you're filling in. What is the action? What is the second blank is the specific, measurable, risky, and exciting thing that you're going to do. You're going to do them all together in one blank. And then the time keyed element. You're going to notice that the time key and the action are always one of these blanks here. Sometimes the other things like the specific, measurable, risky, exciting might be separated. Sometimes they might be combined. So here's an example of this, filling in the blank. How about running the Austin Half Marathon by April the 2nd? So the first blank is the action, which is run. The specific, measurable, risky, and exciting is the Austin Half Marathon, especially if you haven't run any marathons or you've only run 5Ks. And then the time element by April the 2nd. Here's another fill in the blank example. So fill in the blank here and you've written a smarter goal. So first of all is the action. The second blank is the measurable, risky, and exciting part. The third blank is the specific part. And then the last blank is your time keyed element. So here's an example of that. I'm going to read 50 fiction books by the end of the year, by December 31st. So the first blank is my action. I'm going to read. The next blank is the how I'm going to measure it, but I'm also going to make it a bit risky and exciting. I'm going to read 50 books in the next year. By the way, I have a video on how you can do that if you want to check it out. The specific part that I'm breaking out is I'm reading fiction books specifically, and I want to do this by December 31st. So again, here's another example of a 4 fill in the blanks that if you can fill this in, then you've written a smarter goal. Here's a third way of doing this is what is the action? Tell me something specific. Give me something measurable, risky, and exciting. And then give me a time key element to that. So how about this? I want to increase my free throw basketball shooting from 10% to 20% by October 1st. So I filled in the blank. What's the first blank? I want to increase and the specific nature is my free throw percentages in basketball from what's my measurable, risky, and exciting. It's 10% to 20%. And I want to do that by October the 1st. That is the action, the time keyed element out of this. What if you had a habit goal instead of something that's achievement? Well, we could actually put that into 7 blanks. The first one being action. The second blank being measurable, risky, and exciting. The third blank is specific. The next blank is time keyed. And to do a habit goal, you really want to have three extra blanks, which is the time trigger, you want the start date, and you want a streak target. So, how long do you need to do it before you feel like you've done it right? So, I want to walk 2 miles at Austin Park Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. starting June the 1st for 12 weeks. So let's break that down. The action is to walk. The measurable, risky, and exciting is 2 miles. The specific is at Austin Park. The time element is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I need a time trigger. When am I going to do this habit? I'm going to do it at 7 a.m. I'm going to need a start date, which is starting June the 1st. And I'm going to do this for 12 weeks. So if this helps you, think about how to write a smarter goal. Go through these 4 examples that I've given you in this lesson and just fill in the blanks. And you will be much closer to have written an actual, true, smarter goal that you can apply in your life today. Hope that helps. Hope it gives you kind of a tool to put this into practice, putting all the lessons together in one thing. So go out today and live your life with intention, passion, and purpose. Your life is an occasion. Rise to it.